So we're going to talk about what I feel is the most important thing, because all weekend long you are getting marketing stuff, you're getting funnel creation stuff, you're getting tips, ideas, tactics, strategies on how to create offers, email broadcasts, track your sales, hell, make your sales, get referrals, right? And that's good, man. That's the tactical stuff. It's the tactical stuff, right? Like a warrior has his weapons. He's got a shield, he's got a spear, he's got his axe, got his helmet. That's the tactical stuff. That's what's going to get you the clients. But that warrior is what brings the tactical stuff alive. You see, that axe is useless. The spear is useless. The shield will do nothing unless there's a warrior behind it. Make sense to you? I mean, a layman like me could pick up all that stuff and I wouldn't know what to do. You can kit me up like a Navy SEAL. We talked about a Navy SEAL yesterday. Just take the whole gear, put it on me, hand me the rifle. I wouldn't know what to do. Would not know what to do. Because I'm not a warrior in that world, right? So those tools are useless to me. And so those tools for you are those scripts, the promotions, the offers, understanding how people make a buying decision, what gets them to click an ad, and then give you their contact info. But without a strong warrior mind, without being a fitness Spartan, it's useless. It's useless. And so what we're going to talk about really is how to live your passion and to dominate your path. And let me tell you why I say dominate your path. Most people kind of operate, at best, entrepreneurs I should say, 50, 60% capacity. We all know, myself included, I have yet to reach my full potential. I have the vision for it. I know what it's going to look like, feel like, taste like, smell like, but I have yet to reach that full potential. And I believe more than ever today, now, I'm on my path and almost at full speed. But most people, and I was a part of this sea of mediocrity, are operating out of this fight or flight place, are dealing with increased competition, are doing business just sorta, kind of half in, half out, straddling that fence, both physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And what happens in that place? So you're like, yeah, but I'm doing better than I did last year. It's like doing a wall squat, right? You put a client against the wall to do a wall squat, and they're just sitting there. My legs are burning. It hurts. No, take your hands off your knees, right? On the flip side, if you brought a chair and just said, have a seat, baby, they could be there all day long. See, the entrepreneur that's working at half speed and is operating in that place of mediocrity and has yet to turn pro and become disciplined is really running their business from a wall squat position versus in a seated, comfortable position, place of dominance versus competing, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get started, because I believe all of you have a gift. I have a gift. I thought my gift was to train people to lose weight, because I lost weight, I got in shape, I got active, and I realized, holy cow, it's a whole new world, man, being in shape. This is what I want to do for a living. I want to impact lives. I want to be an agent of change. And so I became a personal trainer. And as I helped people and grew my gyms and ultimately sold them, I realized I had this higher calling, which was to help my fellow fitness trainers do what I've done and more. That's my true gift. I know that today. And so I embraced my gift. See, I knew what my gift was in 2003 when I started coaching and consulting trainers. I didn't turn pro until about 2008. Really 2009, if I'm going to be completely transparent and honest with you. That's not long ago. And if I'm really going to be honest with you, you hook me up to a lie detector and say late 2010, early 2011. And that's the reality. Just this morning, that's the truth. I'm being honest with you. And those of you that are kind of, say, in my circle, because mastermind members, we see each other all the time, you know that. You know that. Hell, there was a fitness business summit where I got so drunk the night before that I got up on stage with Vince Del Monte to teach, and I was holding onto a chair, couldn't even put my shoes on, so I was wearing my flip-flops, and Di had to bring me a cup of coffee on stage just to stay vertical. That is undisciplined, man. I'm sure it was funny, but it was undisciplined, right? Yeah. So you have a gift. You know that you have a purpose. Your job is to impact the world with your gift, right? To change lives. You're an agent of change. And you're competing against, our enemy is huge. McDonald's, Burger King, the lap band, liposuction, the saran wrap, the supplements, the pills, potions, and the powders, the infomercial gadgets. By the way, you know Guthrie Ranker, right? Because I know a lot of the copywriters who write the Guthrie Ranker infomercials. Guthrie Ranker puts on those infomercials like the Gazelle and the Abdominizer and all that stuff. Guthrie Ranker will not take a product from you and put it on an infomercial if it does not conveniently fold up and store away. Can you guess why? That's where it stays, out of sight, out of mind. Once they figured that formula out, refunds dropped by 7%. 7%. So now they demand that whatever the product is conveniently folds up and stores away. See, we don't do that. We don't sell a gym membership and cross our fingers that you don't show up so equipment will stay new and only 9% of the gym members will actually use it. We don't do that. That's what the big box gyms do. We're fanatical about getting our clients in, changing their headspace, changing their physiology, their eating habits, and then delivering an outcome that they've wanted to get for years and didn't know how. That's your gift. And what a shame it would be if your gift goes unfulfilled, right? And so you have an obligation. You've got this clarity. You need clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of vision, and clarity of path. So let me give you an example. By the year 2020, we were going to have 3,000 Fit Body Bootcamp locations. For that to happen, we need 51 EOIs a day. What's an EOI? An expression of interest form. All right, 51 quality EOIs a day. And if we get 51 quality EOIs a day, then our team will sift, sort, and screen, find the most qualified people who are going to be a good fit to become Fit Body Bootcamp owners and represent our brand, and they come on board. See, my purpose is not 3,000 locations. My purpose is to impact the world, 20% of the world by the year 2020. So we've got a Fit Body Bootcamp app that's being redeveloped right now. At its peak, it was the number 9 downloaded app on iTunes for fitness. We're going to roll it back out soon again for the Apple product and for the Android product. And through that, through the books, through the at-home workouts that we've developed, through all the hundreds and thousands of Fit Body Bootcamp locations we'll have worldwide, my goal is to change or impact 20% of the world's population by the year 2020. Because if Mrs. Jones works out at a Fit Body Bootcamp and she goes home and she changes just one thing about their eating habits, their exercise habits, they go on family hikes on weekends, we're touching all those lives. My goal is also in the next 24 months to have 2,000 coaching clients. 2,000 coaching clients. That's my goal. Why? Because the purpose is to help more people. My vision is those numbers. My path is the number of EOIs I need a day or number of applications I need turned in per day off our websites to get the right coaching clients on board and to get the right Fit Body Bootcamp owners on board. That's it. So you have to have a purpose. The purpose can't be money-driven. It's not money-driven. It's impact-driven. You have to be clear on your purpose. People go, but that's an unreasonable expectation, man. 20% of the world's population by 2020? You're nuts. There's people who are living in the bush who'll never hear about you. So, if I get to 17%, I'll be happy. 14%, I'll be happy. I'm going to shoot for the stars, man. If I hit the moon, I'm happy. And that's what you got to do. That's my purpose. So my vision is, what do I need to do to get there? How do I get my team on the same page to get there? Right? And then the path becomes to reverse engineer the numbers. How many Fit Body Bootcamp locations do we need per month to get there? How many clients does each Fit Body Bootcamp location need total to get there? And then we reverse engineer those numbers, and we go out and we work our ass off, right? And that's the domination of your path. And the moment you are clear on your purpose, vision, and path, you're good to go. So right now, then we need to decide. You need to decide that you are going to commit 100%, that you are not going to do that wall squat anymore, that you're going to operate out of a place of domination, not competition, not fear, but of abundance, right? You got to make that decision. I have a gift. I'm going to maximize my gift. I'm going to reach my full potential with my gift. I'm going to change lives with my gift. And for that to happen, you've got to do the next few things. First of all, you have to be willing to say, I can be a one-percenter. Let me explain to you what a one-percenter is. A few decades ago, this is crazy, a few decades ago, the Social Security Administration took 100 people and they decided to follow them over the 40-year career path. 100 people over a 40-year career path, right? So I imagine these people were like 20 to 25 years old, and they followed them for the next 40 years until retirement, 60, 65 years old. Well, check this out. Only one of those people, after the 40 years, one of those people was wealthy. 1%. One of those people was wealthy. 4 of those people were financially stable. 5 of those people had to work the rest of their lives until their death to keep food in their stomach and a roof over their head. 36 of those people were dead. And 54 of those people would rely on friends or family for financial assistance the rest of their life. Those are facts, man. Those are facts. Those aren't numbers that we just create. The Social Security Administration says those are the numbers. So knowing that, you're either going to be that 1%, or you're likely going to be part of that 54% who lean on friends and family. And I'm guessing that you want to be a 1%er, am I right? And guess what? As 1%ers, we have to accept the fact that friends and family will lean on us, man. That's it. So you've chosen to be an entrepreneur. You are a high-performance athlete. You don't even know it. Who's done like some high-level athletics? Raise your hand. I don't know, you have, right? Put your hand high. Be proud of yourself. Yeah. Damn it. Good. Well, this is the same. Being an entrepreneur, you're a high-performance player, man, a high-performance athlete. You know why? Because if you're a high-performance athlete, you get injured. Scott, do you get injured? Damn right. You can't even raise your other hand because you got a metal plate in your shoulder. Right? Thank God you made it, man. That guy just took a massive spill a few months ago on a bike. Was that on a bike? Yeah. Doing an ultra mega Ironman. Yeah. The point of this is you get injured as an athlete, right? But you heal up, you do what's right, you get your body back, you get back on the field, and you compete at the highest levels. As an entrepreneur, that's exactly what you are. Listen, you've chosen to have this gift. You've chosen to maximize your gift. See, everybody has a gift. Most people just kind of ignore it, leave it alone. They know they have this thing within them that they can share. I believe we're all put on this planet because we have a gift to share. Majority of the people, 99%, do not share their gift, do not tap into their passion and purpose. We're like German Shepherd dogs, man. A German Shepherd dog, if you don't give, GSD, German Shepherd dog. Whoa. Tripped me out right there. You don't give a German Shepherd dog a duty, a task, if they don't have a responsibility, they fall into depression. You want to know why the depression rate is so high in society? Why suicide rates are so high? Divorce, drinking, drug use. People want to numb their lives because every single person knows that they have a gift within them, but they don't dig deep to find that gift and to serve. But those of us that do, man, don't you get an immense sense of satisfaction as you change lives? Yeah. But see, once you say, I've got this gift and I'm going to use it to change the world, you have now stepped on to the official Super Bowl playing field as an entrepreneur. You are no longer an amateur. You're an entrepreneur, a high-performance entrepreneur. And just like a high-performance athlete, you get injured. You have competition. Your competition is Facebook. And there are random ways of turning off your ads and increasing your cost for clicks. It's the other gyms and boot camps and fitness centers around you. It's your landlord who decides I'm going to sell my building and exercise that clause that was buried deep into your lease, that when I sell my building, I can cut your lease short. You got 30 days. Get out. It's the local government who's going to raise your taxes, ask you for a conditional use permit on a building that you know you can run your fitness center in, that's got plenty of parking, but some schlep rocks in the city hall decide that you need to pay money and wait 4 months for a conditional use permit. Just like on the athletic field, you have competition, man. Right? So you have to decide that I'm going to bring my best game. You've got to make that decision to be a 1%er. Otherwise, you're either going to be part of that 36% or 36, I guess it's 36%, or the 54%. Yeah, okay, there's a chance that you might be part of the 4 and 5. Okay, I'm going to be financially stable. Ooh, I get to fly coach and take the red eye. I'm going to stay at the 2.5-star, 3-star hotel. No, man. One more degree of effort, and you're now high performance. It doesn't take much. It's one more degree of effort. You know that. Tell your client, just remove the soda, the one soda that you drink per day. Remove that. In over a year, you will lose 15 pounds. That's statistically true. 1 can of soda, right? 1 degree of change. Water boils at 211 degrees. You can cook an egg in it. It becomes steam at 212 degrees, and it powers a massive locomotive, right? 1 degree of change. So you've got to realize that you've got an obligation and a duty because you said, I have a gift, and I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Unknowingly, you said, I'm going to be a high-performance human. That's great. You are all high performers, man. Think about this. Statistically speaking, IRSA says there's about 200,000 personal trainers worldwide. Now, on my email list, I've got about close to 100,000 personal trainers, right? 9,000 of those buy something from me, our customers or clients. But about 800 have identified themselves as wanting to be in that 1 percentile. You see how that works? You've made that decision. And making that decision now means you've got an obligation and a duty to your community, to your clients, to your family, and their future. Who's married? Raise your hand. Congratulations. You've got 2 sets of parents that you have to worry about. Right? Think about that. You're going to put them in a nursing home? You're going to put them in a retirement resort? You decide. And if you decide to be mediocre and put them in a nursing home, how's that relationship going to go for you? How's that nighttime in the bed conversation going to go with the wife or the husband, right? So you might as well put that extra effort in, man. Fly first class. Don't take the red eye. Fly when you want. Stay at the best resorts. It doesn't take much more effort, just a little discipline. I'm going to share it with you. But understand that you've got a duty and an obligation to share your gift. You can't say, I have a gift, and identify yourself as an entrepreneur, and then say, but now I'm not willing to go to battle. You've identified yourself as a warrior. You will battle obesity. You will make money. Money is a vehicle to freedom. You are an agent of change, and you've got an obligation and a duty. It's not, I want to be financially free. Fuck that. You're beyond that. You have an obligation and a duty. People go, Bedros, why are you so passionate? Why do you travel all over the world and speak to trainers a week before your event? Because if you're an agent of change, I need to be in front of you. I need to influence you. I need to open up your head and install a better, faster, more high-performance way of thinking. That's why. But we also have to realize that most people operate from a place of fear and criticism, failure, adversity, and so I don't want to be criticized, man, so I'm not going to market so hard. I'm not going to put myself on YouTube. What if people leave comments? So what, man? Mother Teresa has negative comments about her. Google Mother Teresa. Google Gandhi. Donald Trump or Obama. Reagan or Bush. Or Clinton. We know what happened in the Oval Office. Or was it the Oral Office? Bill Clinton is still on TV endorsing his wife. I'm not taking political sides. I don't care. Because guess what? Whoever becomes president doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. I control my own economy. You control your own economy. A microeconomy. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Raise my taxes. I'll find a way to raise my fees to serve the same number of people or more. Go ahead. Raise my taxes. But Bedros, you live in California. You pay 13% more than all the other states. Guess what? It's the best state in the nation. I can surf, I can snowboard in the same day. It's a 13% luxury tax that I paid. That's called a reframe. A reframe. Listen, I can't control those fuckers who are raising my taxes, but I can tell you that I pay a 13% luxury tax. Why? Because I live in California, man. Am I right? Is California the best? Yeah. I want all of you to move to California. We got Jeff Sherman who moved from Baltimore to California. Carlo back there. Where's Carlo? Carlo, raise your hand. Carlo's going to move from Baltimore to California. Ahmed from New York to California. I'm not knocking any other states. I'm just saying that where I live is expensive, but I look at it as a luxury tax. It's a reframe, because if I piss and moan about it, what happens? I get negative. I get piss and vinegar, and I don't want to go out and serve the public anymore, right? No, man, I'll make a lot of money. I'll just pay 13% luxury tax. And I don't care about the fear and the criticism and all that stuff. See, I used to, but not anymore. You guys remember a few years ago in 2011? Who's been around since 2011? Who's known me since 2011? Great. Then you guys probably know that there was 2 cats who were running my name through the mud for about 6 months, right? Am I right? All right. Man, I was stressed out. I was on the phone with Carter all the time. Like, man, these guys are lying about all this stuff. I'm going to put out a retaliatory blog post. It's like, no, man, just don't. You know what? You're right. I'm just going to go serve the people that I'm destined to serve. And guess what? Both of those dudes, poof, blew up. Went away. Success is the best revenge. Success is the best revenge. Now, let me tell you about the lobster. Why do I have the word lobster up there? Lobster is an interesting creature. Squishy little guy. Starts off with no shell. By the time you and I eat that lobster on the plate, he's changed his shell about 25 times. 25 times. So this squishy little guy, tiny, tiny little dude, sprouts a little shell that's slightly bigger than what he needs, and he grows into it. And then he continues to grow, and then, of course, he's pressing against the walls of that shell, and the pressure begins to mount. It gets uncomfortable. There's a lot of adversity in there, right? And it's like, but I want to keep growing. So it goes and crawls behind a little rock, digs deep, sheds its shell, and the reason it does that so that the little predatory fish don't come and eat it, sprouts another shell, and then goes back out and walking around, right? And that little guy does that 25 times before you and I ever eat it. What does that tell you? Adversity, pressure. You need that. You need that to grow. The lobster would not grow had not been for the adversity and the pressure against him. The risk of being eaten by the predatory fish. If we play it safe, where's the fun, man? Where's the adventure? Where's the challenge? We don't play it safe. Listen, if I'm going to go bankrupt, it's not going to be on a credit card that I owe $4,000 on. It's because I owe $40 million because I had this massive dream of doing something, and man, it didn't pan out. Let me tell you, I've launched plenty of businesses that didn't pan out. By the skin of my teeth, I haven't gone bankrupt. But let me tell you, if I have to, I will. Not because I'm not, I'm a bad steward of money, but if I feel that I've got this idea and I can get it off the ground and I will put everything behind it, oh, it's going to be a massive bankruptcy that I do. Yeah. I won't even do a bankruptcy half-ass. I won't. You go bankrupt on a $4,000 credit card, you're a loser. Work your ass off and pay it off. Seriously, man. Go deep in everything you do. You got to get obsessed with the outcome. See, I'm so obsessed with the outcome that I want in life. You know why, by the way? Because I am self-destructive. I'm a self-destructive person. I've got a therapist. He's educated me more on that. For the last, year and 2 months, I've got a therapist. His name is Kevin. He's a great guy. Every Monday, 5 p.m., sitting on his couch. He helps me through my anxieties, helps me figure my shit out. Because as an entrepreneur, you don't have balance, do you? Yeah, but how do I balance my family? Look, man, my family's in the back of the room. That's what we do. That's it. And if I'm traveling, we get home, we might have a weekend on a Monday, Tuesday. There is no balance for an entrepreneur. Why? You chose to be a Spartan warrior, man. To change lives, to make an impact. Families got to get on board with that. They got to support that. They're your pit crew. Right? Someone's got to fix that armor. Push you back out there. Go, do it. I support you. Find those people in your lives. Bring them in. Share your vision. Get them on board. Get obsessed with the outcome. Don't just be okay with the outcome. I want to make a couple $1 million. Forget that. How many lives do you want to change? Do the math on that, and it will translate to your couple $1 million. Easier than just a couple $1 million. Now, I'm not saying don't go tracking your sales and all that stuff because, you join our mastermind, we're going to be up your ass about tracking your numbers. You're going to be like a mathematician. And not because I'm going to teach you the math, but Cable is. If I teach you the math, you're going to go broke. Right? So you got to decide. You got to decide that this is it. I'm a warrior. I'm a high-performance entrepreneur. You're not a small business owner. The barbershop, the donut shop next to you, they're small business owners. You're not a small business owner. They just own a job. Nothing wrong with that, man. Small businesses are the backbone of our country. But you can't think that I'm a small business owner. You go to the Chamber of Commerce, you show up like you're there to teach. Because every single one of you have more knowledge just after yesterday than anybody at your local Chamber of Commerce will have about business, being an entrepreneur, a leader, leading from the front, discipline, marketing, sales. You show up like you're going to teach. You show up with a giving hand. Who's been to a Chamber of Commerce meeting? Raise your hand. Okay, almost half the room. Almost half the room. Guess what happens? Everybody stands up. Hi, my name is Susan. I own the day spa down the road, and this is what I do, and this is how you can help me. Desperate, needy. Am I right? You show up, and you do the opposite. Hey, my name is Bedros. I own this fitness boot camp, and I've got a mission to help 10,000 people in our community by this year. And I want to start by helping you guys. Here's what I know about marketing. Here's what works in my business. Here's why I want you to come and work out of my facility for free. Because we're all neighbors, and I want to support my fellow entrepreneur. And as we get to know each other, I'll let you know how you can help me. Whew, what a difference. Like, wow, where did that person get all that confidence from? Look at that. They're not even asking me for anything. They're just inviting me. They taught me, and they're inviting me to come in. Right? So think high level, man. Think high performance. This is not a pickup game on a weekend. This is like war. And we are fighting such a great fight, man. We're not like the Wall Street dudes who are selling bullshit stocks. Sorry, Carlo, I know you sold stocks at some point, or bonds or all that nonsense. Rip people off, Carlo. Why would you do that? Why are you always so angry, Carlo? Always yelling at me when I text you? He's from Baltimore, so I'm trying to get him convinced that Baltimore anger will go away. He's not angry. He's actually a very happy, loving guy. But I'm trying to lure him to California, right? And so I'm always busting his chops about his anger. He'll text me like, hey, B, good morning. How are you? I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm like, stop yelling at me. Send. All right, so we're going to talk about discipline. So there's that physical discipline, right? The physical discipline. Raise your hand if you got a few pounds that you could lose. Let's be honest. I do. All right, good. What you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? Because guess what happened? When I stopped being a fat fuck, this room got bigger, people gave me more money, I had more confidence, so I made better videos, I wrote better sales copy. I don't know, who ever thought that eating clean and working out instead of falling asleep in your car, under a tree, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Would actually improve your business. Go figure. Go figure. Where's Dallas? Dallas, are you in this room? There he is. So Dallas has been in our mastermind for years. And there was a time that it was a kidney problems. Do you mind if I shared on this microphone in front of hundreds of people? Without ever asking your permission? All right. You mind if I share your shit right now? By the way, thank you for the cronut, man. Some guy was so brilliant in Huntington Beach, this is what I imagine. He's smoked out. And he's like, what could I do to take this croissant and take this donut and marry them together in 100 layers of love? They brought me one. It was delicious. Somehow they married a croissant and a donut together called a cronut. And I guess the place is in Huntington Beach, right? Y'all should try it out. What's the place called? Primo's? Primo's, there you go. Primo's in Huntington Beach. But Dallas, I don't know how to say this. You were out of shape, man. You're out of shape. You're operating out of stress and fear in those masterminds. And I remember there was a time that anything we'd give you, you're like, no, man, you'd come back. That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. And then one mastermind, you went away and got jacked. I don't know, some light switch flipped. And then all of a sudden, all the marketing stuff, all business stuff blew up, and you opened up your second location, didn't you? Now, is there a coincidence? I don't know. But I dare say that how he does anything is how he does everything. Yeah? Goes for me, man. How I do anything is how I do everything. Physical discipline is important. You got a few pounds to lose? Lose it. Lose it. You're a walking, talking billboard. Put some muscle on. Let's do this. Eat right. Eat right. Physical discipline also means the people within your proximity. Who are you hanging out with? Are they crabs? Are they crabs pulling you down? Are they people pushing you up? You got this. You can do this. Are they telling you, why are you going to that event, man? Why are you going to that event? It's the cost of the flight, the hotel, the ticket. Why are you going? Closing down your facility just to go. Who closed down their facility just to get here? Raise your hand. All right. 5, 6, 7 people. Good, because next year it won't be closed. It'll be open, it'll be running, and you'll be here making money. Yeah. So who you surround yourself with, right? Again, Dan Sullivan says this, the thoughts that occupy your mind and the people you surround yourself with determine success or failure. And that is true. Amen? Nissan inspired me. The fitness preacher. So that physical discipline is important, man. Listen, you got to challenge yourself, too. You got to challenge yourself. Here's why. You get really good on the field, you pick any sport. I remember Michael Jordan, he would fly, what was it, from the three-point line? He'd fly from somewhere. It looked like he was flying from the three-point line. Tongue out. Like, wow, he's so good, he can make faces? He's so good, he can make faces while he flies over everybody else and dunks? Right? I went to school with Tiger Woods, high school. In fact, the Tiger Woods Learning Center is right across the street from Savannah High School, my high school. He's so good that he can hold a conversation and with a golf club, hit a golf ball like this. And then you guys saw the commercials, right? Then he later did that in a Buick commercial. That wasn't CGI. Yeah, and then he launches it and poof, there it goes. He's so good. So you got to challenge yourself. Because when you get so good, you get on autopilot. And you hit this new level. You go from mediocre to great to excellence, and then you stop. There's this place called the zone of genius, right? You operate in your zone of genius. So you got to keep challenging yourself. And back in 2010, Craig Ballantyne told our mastermind group, in a very loving but firm way, cut your deadlines in half and cut them in half again. It's like, oh, crap. I remember telling my wife that I need to, I'd run a marathon with her, and it's been like 7 years since I made that promise. Texted her under the table. I'm like, when's your next marathon? She says, in 6 weeks. Where? San Diego. Great, sign me up, right? I'm like, oh, I better cut my deadline in half again, right? And then just in that very room was Jill Brewer, runwithjill.com, marathon running training coach. During the lunch break at the mastermind, I'm like, Jill, I need you to make me a 6-week marathon training program. She goes, great, I can make you a 16-week marathon training program. I said, no, it's a 6-week marathon training. She goes, no, just go do the half marathon then. Every marathon has a half. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. I'm not an amateur. Not an amateur. Doing a half marathon makes me an amateur. But you've never run a marathon, so just, in fact, how long have you run? Well, I haven't. That's the thing, I haven't. I got these cutting-edge Chuck Taylors, and so I'm ready to do this. She goes, oh, well, first of all, you got to go to snail's pace, and they got to check your gait and give you the right running shoes. You look a little flat-footed when you walk, right? So she gave me a 6-week training program. Every night at 11 p.m., because I was building my empire, I'd go out and run. My first run was a walk, a mile. Then it became a 2-mile jog. And then one day, I'm running through Chino Hills, and I see the Welcome to Diamond Bar sign. Holy shit! I just ran into a whole new city, 14 miles. Kid Rock singing in my ear, right? Feeling light and airy, no more chafing. Yeah, that's serious business, man. Those nipples will bleed. Let me tell you. Yeah, your nipples are just looking for a reason to bleed. If you're a long-distance runner, your nipples they just want to bleed. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. So Jeff Sherman, there he is. He sent me, what was those little nipple, look like tassels, like I should be working at Spearmint Rhino. Little nipple guards, right? You peel it off and you put this, like, it looks like a fluorescent mini hubcap that you install on your nipples, right? And so I did, and I put my t-shirt on, but now you see this little hubcap. I'm like, what's worse? So, well, I appreciate it. I didn't use the hubcaps. And let me tell you, I paid royally in the beginning until I got calloused nipples, right? Yeah. But since then, I take 6-week challenges. I didn't know how to surf. I lived in California. I didn't know how to surf. A couple years ago, said I'm going to make it a 6-week challenge. I didn't know how to rock climb. Is Jay Ferrugia in here? Jay Ferrugia? You in here? He's still sleeping. He was at a cocktail party last night. No Jay. All right, so Jay was like, hey, man, we got to go rock climbing. I'm like, fantastic. Let's go eat some Mexican food. Hey, man, we got to go rock climbing. Great, let's go to a Lakers game. Hey, man, we should go rock climbing. No, man, let's go see the Jay-Z concert. Finally, he's like, no, now we're going rock climbing. I'm like, damn. Well, I can't go. He goes, well, I already booked it. It's a Joshua Tree. We're going to scale this wall, the belay and the ropes, and we got an instructor. And that's how I knew I needed to do this. I couldn't breathe right. And we get there, and the instructor's name is Rick, and he starts belaying me after he teaches us what belaying means. That's the rope, and Jay, of course, is a clown, so he just starts cracking jokes to this guy, Rick. And they give you these shoes, and you got this rope, and that's it, and like, go. I'm like, well, listen, man, I saw that actor James Franco, he had to cut his arm off doing this very same thing. Like, that's not going to happen to you, don't worry. All right. Well, listen, man, this rope, I weigh 230 pounds. This rope, that's going to snap. And I'm in charge of a lot of people, man. I got staff, I got payroll, I got family. I got a responsibility. No, that rope is rated to hold a school bus. Okay, got it. Well, I got more objections, man. I got more objections. Listen, these shoes you gave me, I don't know, they feel weird. He's like, listen, it's state-of-the-art rubber under there. You see those little A-cups on the wall? By the way, you look at the rock wall face, and it looks as flat as that screen right there. And he goes, come closer. And I'm right here. He goes, you see that little, they're called A-cups. Why A-cups? Because they're tiny, right? They're tiny. Yeah, that's what he told me. Yeah. He goes, you're going to put your, no offense to any A-cups in here, right? No, that's what rock climb, that's what they call them. That's what they call them. And there's these tiny little, what look like pebbles to me, and he's like, that's where you put your finger. Like, that's a pebble, man. I pull bigger stuff out of my ear than that, right? I got bigger earwax. And so he goes, these state-of-the-art shoes, when you put them in that A-cup, just your toes, when you put the pressure and the heat from the sun on the mountain, it makes that rubber melt immediately, and it sticks. It sticks. I'm like, all right, so the rope is going to hold the bus. I got the A-cups. I got the little pebbles. And he goes, it's all legs, man. It's all legs. I see you're strong. You got a big body. You're strong. You're going to try and muscle your way up. Don't do it. And those shoes, they're going to help you. All right, got it. Let's go. And, of course, every time I go up, they tighten the rope so that if I fall, it's not a long fall, right? I went up and I got to a spot. I can't. Guys, just bring me down. I can't get up to they want you to go up to the carabiner and touch the fucking carabiner. I can touch the one that's down here. Right? Guys, you know what? First attempt, it's okay. We got 4 hours of this. Maybe the next one I'll go up higher. Like, no, you're fine, man. There's just a spot right there. You got this. Do it. Just work in your 3-foot space. You got this. Your 3-foot space. Don't look where the carabiner is. You got this. I'm like, no, guys, just bring me down. I'm ready to go. This is high enough for me, man. I'm afraid of heights. And then Rick reaches up and he touches my foot. I had gone up about 6 feet. I'm probably higher now than I was on that rock face. But the fear of doing something new petrified me. And so I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm doing it. And I went up. It was ugly. It was painful. And then Jay went up. We spent the next 4 hours going up, 60 foot, 70 foot, 80 foot, different rock faces. Of course, Rick, he'd go up there like a mountain goat with no ropes or anything. Hook up the things, come back down. Let's go, fellas. So I'm like, this is great. So back to Joshua Tree I go. Then I go find indoor climbing places, and I climb indoors. Why? Because I'm afraid of heights. I'm not good at it. And I tell myself I'm not good at it. God hasn't designed me to run. I'm a weightlifter. So I ran the marathon. You know what's great about the marathon? You can run a marathon. It's 26.2 miles. You can run all 26 miles. You don't cross that point 2. You did not run a marathon. And that is life, isn't it? That is life. Because the last 5 miles of a marathon, they have those super shuttles lined up. The super shuttles are lined up that says $5 will drive you to the finish line, right? You can just end it. You're dying because people are cramping. They're running like this. You ever run a marathon or a half marathon? You see people looking like they should be like a Not Scary Farm or something. Like, it's like Halloween zombies, right? One guy, he was holding his shoulder, and I'm thinking, how are you holding your shoulder, man? Like, it was nuts. You run with your feet, right? I saw one cat. He just took a spill. He spilled, and then he rolled. I'm like, holy cow. That's what I got to do. See, I'm not going to pay the shuttle $5. I'm not going to give up. But if I fake an injury right now, it'll all be over, right? Mile number 19, mile number 20, 21. Another super shuttle. Just fake an injury, man. I'm already limping. My knee hurts. My body's cramping up. My traps are killing me. right? Because I'm running like this, all tense and angry. It's a fun marathon. I'm going to finish it. But I crossed that finish line, man. And I stopped selling myself that bullshit story that I'm only designed to lift. That I'm afraid of heights and only tiny people can climb. That I didn't grow up surfing. Hell, I fought Aaron Weatherspoon in an MMA match after him training me for 6 weeks. Unfortunately, it was cut short because at 4 weeks, I tore my bicep. I was like, Aaron, listen, I'm big, I'm hairy, I'm ugly, and that's been my God-given defense system. I've never needed to fight. But I realized, and Aaron Weatherspoon was, at the time was a king of the cage welterweight champion. I'm like, this has been my self-defense mechanism, man. And Aaron's like, well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do a 6-week challenge with you. I want to do something way out of my comfort zone because I do these things. I get reinvigorated. By the way, after every challenge, my business goes boom. Whoa. Once I notice that, what's the next challenge? Right? Let me tell you, I get injuries, man. Cut my foot so deep that I had to use my multi-tool to cut a big chunk of skin off. I threw it out my car window as I'm driving back home. I used duct tape. Right? Asked a doctor friend, what do I do about this? Well, where's the skin? We could have sewn it on. Oh, it's somewhere on the I-5. Right? There was a lot of coral when I was surfing. I didn't know about high tide, low tide. It was low tide. I jump off like I'm jumping off a skateboard to land on my feet. You're supposed to go like a starfish. No one teaches you that stuff, right? Because the dudes that are teaching you to surf, they're stoned out of their mind, man. The whole time I'd paddle, get up. He's like, yeah, you feel it, bro? I'm like, yeah, I feel it. Right? By the way, everyone else on regular surfboards, he's like, I'll be right back for you. Because I was like sinking those regular surfboards. I was like standing on it. I was standing on it. He comes back with the paddleboard. I'm like, oh, no, I wanted to surf. He's like, yeah, you can surf on a paddleboard. I surfed on a paddleboard the first time. Yeah, it was nuts. But the point of this is that you got to get physically disciplined in every way. Get in shape and then take on challenges. Because when you do that, it does something to your spirit. The story that you tell yourself, the narrative of your life that you tell yourself, that I'm not designed to, I'm not capable to, it's not on my path. Everything is on your path, man. We are the most adaptable creatures on the planet. And when you take on a challenge and you do it, your business goes boom, right? But then there's a mental discipline. And it's coming to these events. Stephanie Flynn was just at Tony Robbins' event. Was it 4 days?
Yeah, 4 days.
4 days, 2,000-degree colds, walk right over them, right? Did you ever think you'd do that?
No.
But you did. Do you believe you're capable of more?
Yes.
Damn straight. She's capable of more, yes. Yes, because after 2,000-degree colds, and after almost drowning, and after 26.2 miles, and after climbing and being afraid of falling and a painful death, well, get up on the stage, talk to people, I could do that. Make a video? I got this. But the mental discipline, man, you got to read those books, right? But gathering the information isn't enough. You got to apply those books, right? And when we say mental discipline, this also means if you need a therapist, man, if you're self-destructive like I am, I'm not going to say like I was, like I am, see, that's why I serve, because the more people I serve, the more distracted I stay from sabotaging my own life, right? I had a pretty rough upbringing, both in Armenia and then when we came here when I was 6. I've been broke and poor. I've had my hair washed with gasoline because I had lice and my parents couldn't afford lice treatment. Eating out of dumpsters. My dad would push me into the dumpsters behind the grocery stores, and I'd be the kid picking out the foods that had gone bad, but not so bad where you couldn't eat them, because we would just pick off the mold. They would sneak me into the apartment complexes that we lived in, because there were cheap apartment complexes that said no kids, no pets. They would sneak me in. What does that make you feel like? Your mom's got a jacket over your head, right? There's little feet. Little feet. I see little feet. No, you don't see feet. But I see feet. No, these are not feet. Am I right? Is that how Tati talks? There's my nephew right there. All right, and I love my mom to death. Love him to death. Yeah, my nephew's a fit body owner now, too. And I got to tell you, man, what does that do to your psyche when you get kicked out of an apartment? Manager comes, knocks on the door. Hey, we see that you have a child living with you. You guys got to leave. We lived 14 apartments in the first 2 years when we moved to California. I have no idea why my dad came to California. We could have gone to any state. We didn't have any family here. Maybe he wanted to pay the 13.5% luxury tax. And boy, when you got a communist dad, my dad was a member of the Communist Party. He gets angry. My friends, they'd get all on restriction. You know, you can't play with your G.I. Joes. You can't go out and play with your skateboard. I'd knock on the door. Hey, man, come on out. Let's play, right? Before I move out of this apartment and never see you again. Let's play. I can't. I'm on restriction. Restriction? What's that? Oh, yeah, I got in trouble. I'm on restriction. I can't come out for a week. I go, no, just your mom and dad can't slap you around a bit, and then that's it? It's over? That's what I was used to, right? Get slapped around by mom and dad? That's it. Done. That's how communists raise you, man. He's angry. He comes to a country, he wants freedom for you, and he realizes he had a good life there, but he's going to sacrifice all that to come here? Family of 5? Oh, he's angry. It's the mental discipline, man. It's the mental discipline. And there's this thing called entrepreneurial discipline. Entrepreneurial discipline is important. See, as an entrepreneur, just like a high-performance athlete, what do? You eat right. You don't miss a training session. You practice with your team. You stay longer than you need to on the practice field. And you practice and you practice and you practice till you get it right. Entrepreneurs got to do that. If you're an entrepreneur, and I know you are because you're in this room, man, your iPhone goes off, your alarm clock goes off, and you hit snooze? Is that high performance to hit snooze? Yeah, but it's only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes. Imagine the very first thing you do in the morning is an act of weakness. The very first thing you do in the morning is an act of weakness, and that tells your subconscious that today we allow more acts of weakness. Am I right? Did you ever look at it that way? Get disciplined, man. Sleep on time. Be a part of the 5 a.m. club. Wake up. Show gratitude. Send out 3 or 4 text messages to the people you love and appreciate. And then flip your iPhone over, shut down the volume, and GSD. You get shit done. That's my day every morning. Every morning. I stopped hitting snooze. Because when you hit snooze on your iPhone, you hit snooze on your work. You hit snooze on your ambitions. You hit snooze on your gift. You hit snooze on your passion. You hit snooze on your purpose. One little act of weakness in the morning gives you permission subconsciously to have weakness throughout the day. And that's the reality. That's entrepreneurial discipline, man. Show gratitude. Have rituals. Eat right. Right? You guys ever heard of the phrase, stay hungry? Stay hungry, man. What does that mean? Someone tell me. What? Get after it, right? Hustle. See, I believe that. It does mean hustle. But why did they use the word stay hungry? You have drive when you're hungry. See, we talked about that reptilian mind yesterday, didn't we? We are still cavemen. Now, I imagine the caveman hasn't eaten for a few days, and the chemicals and the hormones that are releasing in his body want to make him high speed and into a predator who's going to chase after his prize. I'm going to get that brontosaurus. I'm going to drag that motherfucker in. She's going to cook it up. Or he might cook it up. It is 2016, Anna. Anna. Don't come swinging at me. Or he'll cook it up. But she will. Because this is the caveman days, right? But as soon as he eats that brontosaurus, woo, the happy hormones release, the happy chemicals release. The blood goes from the extremities and the head and the brain to the belly. You follow what I mean? Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Literally, stay hungry. I'm not saying go starve yourself and be a what do they call it, bulimic? What's the other one? Anorexic. See, I could never be anorexic. I'd be bulimic because I'm a fatty. I would eat, and I'm like, and then I'd throw up. Yeah. Not making fun. But stay hungry means, like all this weekend, man, I've been eating to about 40, 50%. That's it. A protein shake in the morning, have my green juice, that's it. What should we have for lunch? I don't know, it doesn't matter, but it better be a little bit of salad, a little bit of fish, and that's it. I don't want to get full. Why? I want to stay hungry. I want to stay after it today. I want to stay focused on you, on the message I have to deliver, on the gift that I have to pass along to you before you go out and dominate with your gift. I can't be satisfied. I can't be satisfied. If I'm satisfied, I'm not going to deliver with the passion and the purpose and the intensity that you need, that you want, that you expect of me, that you paid for, right? Got to stay hungry. That's entrepreneurial discipline. Now, Sunday night, I'm eating burritos and fried fish. But I haven't cheated all week. That's like my cheat meal. I'm going to go in the hot tub, watch an episode of Billions. You guys watch Billions? Oh, yeah. We just started with Billions. Yeah, right? Axe. Axe Capital. That's right. Yeah. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk says there's something about being an immigrant. And Rob Yeager back there, where's Rob? Rob, our head of videography, choreography, and editing, and all types of shenanigans. He says one day, he goes, man, you've got this thing called the immigrant edge. You got the immigrant edge. I'm like, Rob, tell me more. What do you mean I got the immigrant edge? He's like, you're always hungry, man. You're always after it. You're always hustling. You're always doing it. That's right. I work like someone's trying to take it away from me. Why? Because I've got a gift. I've got a gift, and I got to make sure that every single person that I'm supposed to impact gets impacted before I take my last and final breath. I've got a gift. And if I slack off on that, guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to start destroying my own life. You've got to get disciplined in every way. Now, Craig's going to go deeper into discipline tomorrow morning, in this room. And of course, finally, so we talked about decide to be an entrepreneur and a high-performance entrepreneur at that. Get disciplined in every way. And now it's time to dominate, right? And how do we dominate? We do the work. We just do the work. We just do the work. But I don't know how, Bedros. You do the work. I don't know how to set up a Facebook ad. You do the work. You Google it. You figure it out. You contact Josh. You contact Jeff. You contact us at my HQ. But I got new competition. I don't care. Go out there and do the work and crush them. But competition is healthy. No, competition is not healthy. Who's read 10X rule? Raise your hand. 10X rule, right? Cardone says it. Competition is not healthy. Domination is immunity. Immunity from financial despair. You got to dominate the market space you're in. Why? Man, that sounds pretty fierce. What do you mean put your competition out of business? Listen, if I'm a trainer and you're a trainer in the same town and you're a better trainer than me because you come to events like this, you go to the Perform Betters, you constantly increase your knowledge. You're a precision nutrition level 1, 2, 3, 10, 9, 13, 14, 20. Certified, right? Then guess what? You have an obligation to make sure that no client goes to the lesser competition. Because remember, you have a duty and an obligation. We talked about that. Your duty and your obligation. You got a duty and an obligation, man, to dominate your competitors. So you got to do the work. Surround yourself with winners, right? Josh talked about this. The sixth person, be the sixth person. Surround yourself with winners. Get a coach. Get a coach. Who here as a fitness professional has hired another trainer to help them? Yes. Who here has had coaches? Raise your hand. Yes. Right? Hell, I couldn't figure out my shit. Went and hired a therapist. We need coaches. We're coaches, we need coaches. I want to be surrounded by winners, people, experts in their industries who can buy me speed. I will give you money to give me speed and faster results. I surround myself with winners. I don't surround myself with my friends from high school because the last time I saw them, it was on a weekend, on a Sunday specifically, like, oh man, tomorrow's Monday. And I was like, oh man, tomorrow's Monday. See the difference? But there was more of them than me. I was like, ooh, I'm getting outnumbered. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit. No, now I hang out with winners. That's it. So you cut out your friends from high school? Yep. I didn't like write them as long, angry email. You're a loser. And listen, man, I love them to pieces. Just slowly, quietly phased away. phased away, that's all. Make sense to you? You surround yourself with winners. You get the coaches. You get the therapists. You get the trainers. You get the meal plan nutritionist to help you out with your diet. Most of you in here now, at least those of you that have talked to me, all I hear is, and I appreciate the gratitude. I know I kind of squirm when you guys give me the thanks and the love and how I've changed your life. I don't do well accepting compliments. Maybe by next year, me and Kevin will work on that, my therapist. And I appreciate that. But man, based on what you guys are telling me, you can afford to have prep meals come to you. It's $8 a meal, $9 a meal from what I understand, right? Have it show up to your fridge for the week. Warm it up, eat it. Don't think about it anymore. You can afford it, do it, right? I remember going from drinking water to spring water and going, man, this is good. Going from regular tuna to the albacore chunk tuna. Man, life is good, right? Going from coach to flying first class. Man, life is good. Yeah, but Bedros, you know, coach and first class both get there at the same time. Oh, I know. I don't have to smell the farts, hear the sneezes. I get to get out of this tube a lot faster than you. I get to eat gourmet food. I have so much room I can spread out. Sometimes for fun, I'll have Joan buy first class seat for my backpack just so I don't have someone next to me. Because I got to work, right? And I'll have 2 gourmet peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, please. One for me and one for him, right? Surround yourself with winners, man. And then focus on that 5%. You guys know that, right? You got to focus on that 5%. There's a lot of things you got to do. See, I went to the Miami Heat game when I was in Miami in January. We were sitting courtside right there, like right in the front. Myself, Craig Ballantyne, and Joel Marion. Joel Marion is the founder of BioTrust, 9-figure business, great supplement company. Fantastic, generous guy. He's got, season passes. We went, celebrities all around us. Of course, I don't follow sports. I don't know anything about sports. My parents didn't put me in sports. My parents put me in dumpsters to get food out, right? That was my sport. I did it good. Oh, that's rotten. We can't eat that. Yeah. No, I could. Listen, I can go in our fridge. We're like, guys, don't eat this. I got it. I'll pick a few things off. Now you can eat it. You're good. No, but the things you picked off, it was like green and fuzzy. You're good. You got to build that immune system. Yeah, you're good. Eat it. You got to focus on that 5%, man. See, at the Miami Heat game, I'm watching all the players go, and who's the guy they call him, the bird? The bird, the tatted up white dude? Birdman, thank you. Told you I don't know anything about sports. Birdman. And he's doing his thing, playing, is he center? I think he's center. I don't know what he is. Yeah. And all these cats, they man-to-man defense and zone defense and passing the ball. But I realized nothing matters, man. They're 5%, nothing matters. These cats, and I asked Craig, I'm like, Craigie, how much do these guys get paid? He goes, on average, the average basketball player gets paid about $3.5 million a year. I'm like, wow, $3.5 million a year. And it's not to play zone defense. It's not to play man-to-man defense. It's not to block balls. It is to put that ball in the basket. That is their 5%, right? Defense doesn't win games. They get $3.5 million. All that other stuff has to get done, but the game is won when the ball goes in the basket, you see? Yeah, your bathroom's got to get cleaned, man. You do need to replenish that toilet paper. You got to mop the place up. You got to vacuum. Put that powder on the mats, right? Because people sweat. It gets stinky. It's got to get done. Credit cards have to get processed. If you got a couple clients or employees, who's got employees? Raise your hand. All right, good for you guys, entrepreneurs. You got employees, you write payroll checks, right? That doesn't mean that you have to do any of those things. Those things are not in your 5%. That's in the 95%. That's the trivial stuff. If you can pay someone $20 an hour or less to do, you shouldn't be doing it. The next time you see something and you're about to do it, can I pay someone $20 an hour or less to do it? Yes, I can. Then that is not on my 5%. I give you permission to go around telling everybody in your life that that is not in your 5%. Do that all day long in my house. Light bulbs out, not on my 5%. Sprinklers busted, not on my 5%. Now, we've got someone full-time in our house. Her name is Valentina. She's amazing, and she gets up and does all that stuff, right? Now, for me, it's not on my 5% to do the light bulbs anymore. It's really not. It's really not. Between a light bulb and the stuck garbage disposal, I could write an email and make $10,000, right? So I know what my 5% is. It's to delegate, motivate, and sell. DMS. Figure out what your 5% is. Get a sheet of paper, write down everything you have to do to run your business down the left-hand side. And then start circling the things that make you money or get you clients. You'll see it's only 5% of the things. So imagine if you're working on the 5% that matter and your competitor, same abilities, is working on the 100%. Aren't you going to kick his ass all day long? If you both work 8-hour days, he's training clients all day long. Listen, you shouldn't be training clients anymore. Yeah, but I got my special clients that I like. Great, keep your special clients. But you've got to be able to scale yourself. For that to happen, training is no longer in your 5%. I don't like hearing that, B. Great, well, you came here to hear that because you came here because you're not happy with the income you're making, the freedom you have, and the business you've developed. So I'm telling you what works. You might dig your heels in a bit, but that's okay. When Josh first became a coaching client, he had a lot of clients. When I had that uncomfortable conversation with him, I don't know my clients. I got to keep a couple. Can't get rid of them. Same with Cable. Can't get rid of them. And then they got rid of them. Their businesses grew. I think, Josh, you only work out with one person now? Cable, do you train anyone anymore? Nope. 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 And these guys are trainers to the core. Like to the core. Right? So follow their path. Focus on your 5%. And also understand that you only get paid for done. Ooh, man, I got ideas. I went to Fitness Business Summit and I got ideas. Woo, I got ideas. I'm going to start a boot camp. I'm going to start a personal training studio. I'm going to write an ebook. I saw some books out there being sold. I'm going to publish a book just like Recipe Hacker. Great. Pick one. Do it all the way because you only get paid for done. You don't get paid for ideas. You don't get paid for ideas. You only get paid for done. Remember that. And finally, you got to be resilient like the weed, right? You might have heard me talk about the weed before, but let me just talk about the weed one more time. The weed is a dominator. The weed dominates everything. The weed dominates its path. The weed dominates its path. Yet we all look at the orchid as the most beautiful flower on the planet because it grows long stem and one pretty little thing, petals. But what you don't realize is the orchid is so fragile. It's so beautiful, but it's so fragile, right? A little bit of change in humidity and moisture. The soil changes a bit, the orchid dies. The weed, we don't give a fuck. It'll grow out of asphalt, concrete, telephone poles, sand, the desert. I've seen weed. We were at Mammoth snowboarding. I saw a weed growing out of snow. Home Depot or in Lowe's still haven't figured out what kind of chemical to sell that will kill a weed permanently. You'll spray the weed gone or weed be gone product. A week later, the weed's back. Comes back and says, fuck you. I'm back. I'm back. Have you ever pulled a weed out of a crack and it just fell right into your hand and you realize it was growing in air? This thing wasn't even. Has that ever happened to you guys? Yeah, right? You know what I'm talking about. Except we've got a pool deck and it's got the cracks, right? I'm like, oh man, my kids are gonna be running around. They don't need to see a weed. Let me yank this thing out. Almost fall backwards on it. It was just growing in air. You gotta be resilient like a weed, man. Be everywhere all the time. By the way, orchid can't survive everywhere. A weed is in every continent. Every continent, even in Iceland, Greenland, every continent. Be everywhere all the time. Never die. Never give up. The weed doesn't give up. So let's not look up to the orchid. I said we look up to the weed because the weed is a dominator. And some of you might be thinking about a different weed. That's your business. I can't speak to that. But you got to be a dominator, man. And with that, I want to show you guys, introduce you guys to 5 people who are dominators. So I want these 5 people to come up here. Nestor Flores, come on up. Stacy Cutler, come on up. Alicia Lopez, come on up. Josh Gillingham, come on up. Charmaine Ironside, come on up. Hey, man.
How's it going?
Great. Yeah.
It's different from up here.
It's different from up here. It's very bright. There's a lot of people. Yeah. Hello. Hello. We got you all. There's Charmaine. Did you go to that spa? Not yet? No. All right. Oh, don't leave. I put deodorant on. All right, so while Alicia's doing that real quick, I was tasked with the awful job of having to pick someone from all the mastermind groups, right? Top 5, to win that Land Rover for a year. And it's a horrible, horrible task because, man, in these masterminds, we cry, there's some screaming, there's some funnel making, there's some high-fiving, plenty of high-fiving, but it is some deep stuff, man, and all these folks in the white tables here, and about half the mastermind's not even here. And so to be tasked with that is pretty challenging, and to find the people that you are going to nominate to be the ultimate winner. So I thought long and hard, talked to our fellow coaches, and these are the 5 that we picked. And so they're going to give you just 3 minutes. And I want to give them some recognition and some love because they're going to just give you 3 minutes of, not necessarily why they deserve to win the Land Rover, because they're all so humble and they'll never do that. But they're going to explain the transformation that took place in their lives and their businesses. And then tomorrow, we'll award one of these guys or gals the Land Rover. So, Alicia, how about we start with you?
Sure, for sure. Wow, it is majorly different. Look at all you guys. This is amazing. How you guys feeling? Fantastic. My name is Alicia Lopez, and I am the owner of No Limits out of Long Beach, California. And I was sitting in this audience last year, and I'm going to be 100% truthful. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was mad. I was sad. I had every emotion going through me, but most importantly, I felt empty, okay? I'm 41 years old, 7 years in business, and I had a failing business. And that made me sad. I was broken. Okay? I just became a mother of twins, 2 beautiful baby boys. Okay? I had this vision to open up a 16,000 square foot training facility, renting space to independent trainers. Bad idea. Okay? It just didn't work. And I failed. Then my fiance comes to me and says, "Babe, I just been laid off." I said, "What?" I pretended to be strong, though. Said, you know what? We're going to be okay. I don't know how we're going to pay the bills, but we're going to be okay. Okay. In that misery, somehow I found Bedros, and I came to Mastermind here at the summit. But a day before, he gave me a black envelope and invited me to be part of his Mastermind group. Open up the envelope, and I said, "I can't do this." But I knew for my family, I had to do it. I had to find money some way to afford this program because I knew I had something in me to share. I knew this guy, if he said what he was going to do, I knew I'd be up here on this stage. See this right here? This is last year's manual. Kept it in my car, and here I am. Thank you. 1 year. I paid off my taxes. I owe back taxes. I paid all my personal debt. It's gone. My 5%, I hired a sales manager, operations manager, and I'm focusing on my 5%. Maybe my 0.5 because I still have to do laundry. Grew my community from 50 to 200. Okay? We have our own boot camp, OCR training program. I am changing lives. Revenue, look at this, 253 to 464. Most importantly, I got my joy back. I was broken. I believed in Bedros, Cable, and the whole team, and even my teammates. When you have nothing, and you have a family, you have kids, You will do everything. I have trainers in this room that train at my gym. I never let you know how hard it was for me because I had so much pride. But you know what? I got me back. I'm happy. I lost 17 pounds. I'm eating right. And I'm reading. I'm listening to podcasts daily. You hear what he said up here? You have to follow it. Look what happened to me in 1 year. And if you think you can't afford that program, hear that word can't? You got to make it happen. There's no such word as can't. No, if you want it bad, if you want change, you got to make it happen. So I've always wanted to do this. Do me a favor. Repeat after me. I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
One more time. I am amazing.
I'm amazing.
You are amazing.
Yeah. Come here. I love you. Oh, thank you. So proud of you. Alicia Lopez. All right, Nestor.
Wow.
I've got goosebumps right now. I got a lot of hair that's sticking up. Nestor, you gotta. You want her in? I think it's you, buddy. Nestor Flores.
Wow. How's it going, everyone? My name's Nestor Flores. 2.5 years ago, or actually 2 years ago, I quit my job managing a small gym in Fresno, and I got into personal training without any experience. Just a month after that, my first visit, FBS 2014, I borrowed my parents' van to drive down here. I stayed at Motel 6. I didn't know anyone at this event. It was completely out of my comfort zone to get here. And I ate ham sandwiches in the van, in the garage of the parking lot, because that's all I could afford during that time. A couple months after that, for the Turbulence Training Summit, I took an 11-hour bus ride from Fresno to San Diego overnight, and then I ran 3 miles from the bus stop to the event so that I could get there in time. And then that night, I had to walk 2.5 miles from the event to Motel 6 because I couldn't afford to stay at the event. And then next morning, I had to walk back the 2.5 miles. But that's when I really started noticing that no matter what, even though I knew it was just gonna be a struggle coming to these events, I really, really wanted it bad enough that I just showed up. I took action on the things that I learned, and a couple months after that, with just 6 months experience as a personal trainer, I started my business out of a small 260 square foot studio. I didn't have any money, I didn't have any clients, and the only equipment I had were 3 stability balls and 3 mats, and that's how I started Fresno Fit. And every single day that I started, or I went into my studio, obviously I went in with the doubt if I did the right thing, or if I was even going to make it, how I was going to pay my bills. But at that point, I was all in, and the only thing I could do at that point was just show up. Every single day, just had to show up and figure it out. By FBS last year, just a couple months after I opened my business, I had 25, 30 clients, about $3,000 EFT per month when I decided to join Mastermind. That weekend, I texted my roommate, and I told him I was going to be late on the rent, and I called my brother, and I asked him for $1,000, which he let me borrow. He just took it from his family saving account and let me borrow the $1,000. Since FBS last year, I went from the 260 square foot studio to 2,400 square foot studio. I went from the 30 clients that I had to 160 clients. Thank you. I have four employees, and I don't train more than 2 hours a week. I also won the Turbulence Training Trainer of the Year award since that last FBS. And I know that we're up here to, determine the winner of the Range Rover, which is, beyond an honor, especially being up here with my amazing colleagues. But really, I have another main motivator for being up here, another reason for being up here. And I know my story might not, resonate with everyone here, which is fine. In which case, I probably won't win, which is fine. But in here, there's at least one person, maybe more, but at least one person that had to borrow their parents' van to get here, or is staying at Motel 6 and had to walk over here just to be at this event, and is scared and doubting if that next step that they're about to take is the right thing to do. So, you're the reason that I'm up here, whoever you are, just looking for some kind of validation that whatever it is you're going to do is the right thing. So whoever that is in here, just look at me, look at us as proof that if you show up and you take action on the things that you learn and you don't give up, then it can be you up here telling your story next year. And, I just want to say that, I've been a trainer for 2 years. I had 6 months experience when I started my business. So I'm a product of what Fitness Business Summit, Bedros, Turbulence Training. I'm all about Turbulence Training. I have to give them a shout out. My mentor, Craig Ballantyne.
Yeah, Craigie.
I'm a product of what they can do for any dreamer of any age that just wants to make something of themselves. So thank you very much. Don't give up and keep pushing.
Good man.
Oh, one last thing. One last thing. I have to run to these events and take, red eyes because I don't have reliable transportation. When you, choose your vote, just keep in mind I drive a 2002 Ford Focus with screeching
Give
tires.
me the microphone.
A speedometer that doesn't work.
Think about it.
Nestor Flores, everybody. All right. Up next, we have Stacy Cutler. You guys are closers. These guys are closers. They're trying to close you.
Wow. So, it has been quite an amazing year for myself. This actually marks the 1-year anniversary of my first Fitness Business Summit. I was sitting in your seat last year on the outskirts. I was scared. I was filled with fear. I didn't know what to do, and I really thought that just by coming here, a miracle was going to happen, and my life would change. I didn't realize that the miracle was always within myself. It was always right in here, like Nissan said yesterday. It was right here, my passion for helping people, my vision. I wanted to change lives for a living. It was right here, but I didn't believe in myself, and I let fear run my life. I knew right before Fitness Business Summit, I had a breaking point. I was depressed already for 7 years of my life. I was depressed. I had a breaking point. I was on the New Jersey boardwalk, and I went to purchase a $2 hair bow for my 1-year-old baby. Handed my personal credit card, declined. You know that feeling? I knew that feeling. Handed my business card, declined. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. I was a failure. And that is what was ingrained in my brain for 7 years of owning my business. I was a failure, and I will never succeed. So I always told my clients, in order to take care of the ones who depend on you, you have got to take care of yourself. And for 7 years, I let myself go. I didn't take care of myself. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I didn't look good anymore. And I knew that I had to do something or it was give up. And I did not want to give up. I was brought here on this earth to help change people's lives. I knew I had to get to Fitness Business Summit, and I got here with the help of Jeff Sherman. The first day, I sat in a seminar, and I took the leap of faith, and I actually call it the leap of fear because I was scared shitless. And I joined the 7-figure mastermind that day. I knew it's what I had to do, and it's been a year of massive, massive action. So, for 7 years, I wasn't able to pay trainers. I wasn't able to pay my bills. I wasn't able to pay my mortgage anymore. I wasn't able to pay the $30-some thousand I owed in back rent to my landlord. I couldn't do that. For 7 years, I couldn't pay. I couldn't pay for diapers. That's why I'm a little choked up. My daughter was put in the hospital right before Fitness Business Summit as well. I was $20,000 now more in the hole, and I was stealing diapers from the hospital because I didn't have them for her. Fast forward, I see I'm short in time. Fast forward a whole year, a crazy year of massive fucking action. Because women, we can do this. You can be badass fucking female entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
This month, I ended with $35,000 on EFT, and I will hit $500,000 this year, and I will buy all the fucking hair bows that I want. If I could leave you with one thing, is surround yourself with like-minded people, because I did that this year, and I changed as a person, as a mother, as a business owner, and now I'm a true fucking entrepreneur.
Atta girl. I love you. I'll take the mic. Stacy Cutler. Josh Gillingham, my man.
Hey guys, how everyone's doing? So this is my first Fitness Business Summit. Really blown away so far. I haven't been in business too long. But before opening my business, I was the top trainer in a national chain of gyms. I had a huge waiting list of clients, a comfortable income, but I was really limited. I couldn't grow, and I really knew that. I had to start a company. So I did that February 2013. Started as an online company. It was kind of like I was half in, wasn't fully committed. It was kind of scary, but I was helping athletes improve their performance. My first year, I grossed about $40,000. And I really missed helping people in person. So I started personal training again the summer of 2014 out of a local 24-hour gym. And the owner had this huge drug problem. Most Mondays he was too hungover to actually come in, let me and my clients in. One Monday I actually found him, like we showed up to the gym, I had 4 clients. He's passed out on the parking lot, kind of handed the key up to me. He's like, let me do my thing. And it was terrible. It just wasn't how I wanted to present myself. So I knew I needed to open my own place. And to summarize all that, I left a great job, great place, a really comfortable income, and now I'm pretty much screwed. Don't know how to open a facility. And I'd known about Bedros, found his stuff online. I forget who said it yesterday, but I was afraid to like his stuff online because I didn't want my competitors to know that I was following him.
That's smart.
So January last year, I opened the doors to my facility. We started with 4,000 square feet. I was working 18 hours a day. I slept at the gym a few nights a week just because I didn't have time to go home, sleep, come back to work. I'd work until 10, 11 o'clock at night. I had to get up at 5 in the morning the next day. I was a business owner, but I wasn't an entrepreneur. All I had done was really created a job for myself. And so I look up to my dad. He's my hero, and he's what I consider a real entrepreneur. He's someone who makes a great income. He helps people, but he's not chained to his business. He spends half the year on his boat in the Bahamas. He calls into work once in a while, really crushes it. And I was the farthest thing from that possible. We were grossing about $10,000 a month gross. After doing the numbers, which I wish I didn't do, I was making less than $5 an hour. So I was one of those people who, I spent money, I joined a couple groups, I bought some courses, but I never really implemented anything. I didn't take any action. I just threw money at a couple programs. I joined the Fitness Marketer Lab, didn't really do anything with it. And it was just kind of a half-assed excuse or half-assed attempt at, changing things. So I knew something needed to change. I was, one night laying in bed, and this was last summer, awake, mad at myself, and I just decided I really needed to change. Later that week, Jeff and Josh announced that they were going to hold the first implementation boot camp, and I really needed to go. I was broke, credit cards maxed out, terrified, but my dad had said something to me that really stuck, And he said, just jump off the cliff, build the airplane as you fall. Figure it out. So I got on the call with Jeff, committed to going. After I'd called the bank, asked them to increase the limits on my credit card. And I didn't actually have enough money for the flights to get there. So I hustled for, I think it was the 6 or 8 weeks from committing to going. And 4 days before it started, the implementation boot camp, I was actually able to afford to buy the flights. So it was like, not even sure I was going to get there. During that boot camp, the coaches laid down a challenge. The first 2 people who finished a funnel got to sit in on the next 7-figure mastermind meeting. I had never typed so fast in my life. My fingers felt like they were bleeding. But I was one of the winners. On the way back to the hotel, called my bank, asked them to increase my credit limit again. They gave me shit because you're not supposed to do that a couple weeks in a row. So I flew back to San Diego, got to the meeting, and there was it changed my life. And then, so Bedros asked everyone who was sitting in to have lunch with him. And I knew there was going to be a sales pitch, but it didn't really matter. I was sold before he even had to say anything. I was one of those, people laying down, just ready to go for it. So he said,
I like to think that I closed you, please.
I got close hard.
Just work for my ego, please.
Yeah, I got close. So he said, talk to Joan, give her your credit card info, and all right, my credit cards are maxed out. How the hell am I going to do this? So go over, I give Joan all my stuff. I knew my card was getting declined. I don't know if she's in here, but it was declined like 2 or 3 times. I was like, no, just run it tomorrow. It'll be fine. I'll make it work. Calling the phone as soon as I hang up with her, as soon as I email her, I'm like, you guys really need, calling the bank, you guys really need to increase this limit. So that was 6 months ago. So in 6 months since joining that group, I expanded my facility another 2,000 square feet. I became a fit body owner. I've increased my EFT from that $10,000 a month to just shy, check this morning, we're at $47,000 a month.
Yeah.
As a lot of you guys probably feel, as fitness professionals, it's really hard to take vacation. Since I had started being a personal trainer about 10 years ago, I'd never taken one. So I took my first vacation since being a personal trainer in November, where I competed at the World Championships for off-road triathlon and represented Canada. For the first time in 5 years, I was able to travel to Florida and spend Christmas with my family. And it was the first time I actually felt like an entrepreneur, that I wasn't just chained to my business. So with everything that I've learned so far and everything from this weekend, this year, we're shooting for $750,000 in gross. And in 2017, I plan on actually owning a 7-figure business to justify being part of the 7-figure mastermind.
Good man.
So that's it.
Congratulations. Yeah. All right, and last but not least, we've got Charmaine Ironside. Come on up. So happy for you guys.
Awesome. Well, I didn't know I was nominated, so maybe finding Joan later. Just kidding. I guess it's better to wing it for me because I way overplan everything in my life. So I don't know where exactly to start, but about 2009, I was on the Olympic team for Canada for snowboarding for halfpipe. I broke my back. My career was put into, I guess it was ended. I tried to come back from it because I'm a fighter and I never believe I'm putting limits on myself, but eventually my legs were just not coming back to where they were, so I retired and I became a personal trainer. Thought it would be a side business. I wanted to be a chiropractor, I don't know why, 4 more years of school, but eventually became totally in love with personal training. When I met Cable, I was working about 14 hours a day. I was opening the gym, I was closing the gym. I had tons of clients, but I was exhausted and didn't think I could keep going that way. So I'm a slow adopter. I've had like a flip phone, like a peanut phone until about 2 years ago. So I don't take massive action until now. I like to just do things really slow and steady, wins the race, but I joined with Cable just in 2011, so I'm going back, but I was a one-on-one trainer. I was renting out of a gym, I slowly decided I wanted to train in groups, so I did small group training. Groups of 4 was my max. I didn't think I could keep my eye on the form well enough if I had more than 4 people. And fast forward, I guess, till now, I now have 2 facilities, Ironside Fitness in Calgary. The groups are 20. That's my comfort zone. And I don't train at all anymore. I've got 13 staff. I have a 9-month-old baby. And I kind of hit my rock bottom at about 5 months into my baby's life, so 4 months ago. Breaking my back wasn't my rock bottom. My rock bottom was not having any connected time with my husband or my baby, and feeling like I was, I guess, just totally spiritually, emotionally bankrupt. I'm sure some of you have felt that way, running a business, running your ass off day after day. So I had to really go back to my why, my priorities, start to finally listen to things that Cable and Bedjo said, and everything I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years started to click for me. Everything Nissan was saying yesterday, and AJ, just going back to your why, going back to your vision, and it's made such a huge difference even in the last few months. We're shooting for $1 million this year in revenue, and I know we can do it, and especially after coming here, so woo-woo. So yeah, I think hiring a coach, having a coach has been incredible for me. And I was sitting, not even an event like this, it was in Red Deer, and it was my first introduction to Pedro's, and I remember being so skeptical. I didn't think it was for me. Those were just pipe dreams. How could I ever get there? But I went from a 1-woman show to having 2 studios, and I still work 50 hours a week, and I'm a full-time mom, but I'm trying to get that down. And I know now with delegating and learning how to do the systems, I'm going to be able to do that. So, woo! Thank you.
Good for you. Thank you.